The subject of money, friends, and family is quite salty to discuss, but let's dive into it. So recently down here in Uganda, there were two brothers who had issues, and those issues were financial. One brother borrowed money from the other to carry out some business, and the other was generous enough to give him the money, but the terms were he had to pay back the money. It was, 1 point something billion, and the borrower had agreed to the terms. But after some time, the borrower got greedy and he didn't want to pay back the lender. Took him to court, suing him, claiming he is not a money lender, so he's not supposed to do that. And for that reason, he wanted to manipulate the law to be on his side. He wanted the lender, his brother, who was generous enough to lend him money in time of need, to pay him more money in damages because he wanted his money back. Now, fortunately, the judge was just. So she clearly asked this guy, the borrower, did you receive money from him, on borrowing terms? And he's like, yes, but he's not a money lender. So this judge was just and decided to rule against the borrower. He ruled in favor of the lender and told the borrower to pay back the money with interest. Why am I sharing this story? Usually, what comes between friends and family, money, is because when it comes to time for paying back someone's money, things usually get salty. That is where conflicts start. And the Muganda man has a proverb that says, "Gw'owola otudde, omubanja oyimiridde," which simply translates, when someone is borrowing money, when you're lending money, it's usually peaceful, graceful, you're in good terms. However, when it comes to paying back, it's usually a hassle. Why is there conflict between friends and family when it comes to money matters? Some people are just selfish. Because really, why would you borrow money from someone and then refuse to pay back? And when they decide to demand for their money, then you start ghosting them, or some people even start name calling. They'll be like, the money was even little, but what they are demanding for it. And personally, in my head, like, this small head of mine is like, so if the money is little,
why don't you just pay it back?
Now, this is the thing. Sometimes people borrow money and they are willing to pay it back, but they are not in position to do that. Their finances are still held back, and such people usually reach out to the person they borrowed from and be like, you know what, I still remember that I have your money, but I'm still kind of tight. Yeah, I haven't, balanced out things yet, but I'm thinking about you. Anytime I get a breakthrough, just know I'm going to do what? I'm going to refund your money. Those are some of the people who are actually willing to pay back, but the situation is not allowing them to. And then the other category is for those who just ghost you. They make sure they no longer pick your calls. When you're online, they act like they're not online. They stop blue ticking you on WhatsApp, if you know what I mean. They block you on status. They don't want you to see what's going on in their lives. They don't want you to see any updates. Basically, they try to cut any links between you and them. That is another category. And this happens in both friendships and in family. What's the solution of having money and healthy relationships at the same time? I must say there's this trick I've heard from different people. This is what they recommend. When someone tries to borrow money from you, don't lend them money. However, offer them a percentage of what they are in need of and just give it to them. Don't lend them. In other words, if someone approaches you and they're in need, they want to borrow 1M, don't lend them that 1M if you have reservations that they might not pay it back. What you do is, if you have a 200k or 300k, get that money and give it to them. You're not lending them the 1 million that they are in need of, but you have reduced how much they need by 30%. So it becomes a win-win situation. The other person gets to know that you have not ignored their need, you have contributed to it, and you also remain peaceful in your place. You don't have to go through any stress of demanding for money from the other person. So the relationship is likely to continue moving, because really, unless the other person is just ungrateful, they cannot sit back and complain, oh, and call you a bad person that you didn't lend them money when you gave them like a 300k. Really. So I know most of us have found ourselves in this kind of predicament. My question to you is, how did you handle it, and what do you recommend? Let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Until next time, ciao.